I'm going to give you 3 reasons why the 4th gen 2025 BMW X3 XDrive 30 is the sweet spot. It's longer, it's wider, it's taller, 7 horsepower more than the prior, 37 pound-feet of torque more. I'm Anthony from Hawkeye Rides, and I'm going to touch bases on some pros and cons and the competition as well. Starting with a new L-shaped headlight assembly with full LEDs that integrate into the new reworked grille. It's composed of vertical and horizontal bars, and ticking the box for the M50, you get the standard iconic glow front and rear parking sensors because we have the premium package with the satin aluminum on the lower, and I like the boxy look that's coming out of it because it keeps true to the heritage of all of the X series for the SUV line in BMW. It's basically a miniature X5, which is the first reason why I would tick the box for this vehicle, because it's longer by over an inch. The width over an inch, the height right at an inch, plus you're getting increase in towing when you tick the box of the M50, 4,850 pounds. This vehicle used to only tow 4,400 pounds. So you're getting a lot more value with the flared out fenders, so it keeps the aggressive style. And underneath the hood is going to house the B48, BMW twin power turbo, producing 255 horsepower with 295 pound-feet of torque paired to an 8-speed Steptronic automatic transmission, achieving 27 mpgs for the city, 33 mpgs for the highway, but it gets a little bit better. The 0 to 60 at 6 seconds. Top speed around 130 miles per hour. We have upgraded 19-inch. It's a staggered wheel setup, 255/45 up front with a 285/40 out back. Tick the box for the M50 and you're going to get the sport brakes. That's a 4-piston brake caliper in the front with a single floating caliper in the rear. The lower gets the grille pattern, flush door handles with the satin aluminum that brushes into the gloss black. That's going to surround the window housing. Ground clearance here will be at 8.5, where the M50 drops it to 8.3, with a lower roof line that extends all the way to the rear, as well as the lower skirt with a 50.5, 49.5 weight distribution, which is better than the M50, but it's not going to be the same in performance. We do not have any M variant as of now confirmed, but when you're thinking about competition now, you're around 55 grand to start into the X3, especially when you tick the box for the premium package, which adds a bunch of goodies, because you're not only getting the 360-degree reverse camera and the park assist, but you'll also get cameras in the interior, but you're also receiving the adaptive cruise control with stop and go, heated steering wheel, the heads-up display, the panoramic roof, with the remote start and the comfort in travel. So it's a pretty good package to tick. Upgraded wheels, you're going to spend around $500. So the package itself isn't bad, especially considering it's a standard all-wheel drive vehicle now. Anyone in its competition, none of them are going to do that. You're going to have to take the box and spend about $2 grand in order to do that. And when you go into Mercedes, you're going to be spending near 60 grand. And as for Audi, the Q3 will be too small, the Q5 will be too big. This is around 7 inches less than the X5, which can take me to a problem, because if you're ticking the box for the M50, I get it, you're getting a lot of power because they have increased with that one as well. And a 4.40 to 60, top speed up to 155 miles per hour, it's no joke. However, once you're starting to get around 80 grand, the X5, it's something to also take in consideration, because you'll have a little bit more cargo capacity and towing capacity compared to this. But then on a Pro, they didn't increase it as much as the X1 and X2. So it's still kind of that sweet spot in between vehicle that gives you enough space in which it makes it a little bit more comfortable for the backseat occupants. Reworked LED taillights. New badging, there is no I after the 30, and that is because they do not want to confuse the electric line with their non-electric. Yes, we have a 48-volt mild hybrid technology that is now implemented. The lower is going to be more settle with the satin aluminum, no exhaust that's exposed. You have to go into the M50 in order to do so. The long roof spoiler that's adjoined to the side air deflectors, it just gives more of a dynamic stance to the vehicle, similar to the X1 and X2, but giving you that extra space in the interior. Power liftgate going into 31.5 cubic feet of storage. The privacy cover, 12-volt charger, bag holders, little storage pocket here with another bag holder tucked inside, and it goes all the way to the width with the spare tire tucked underneath. To get the max cargo capacity of the 67.1, you have to go into the back to split fold the rear bench at a 40 20-40 split or a 60-40 split to maximize the cargo capacity to the new X3. But we need to go inside, start it up so you can hear that exhaust note. The key fob for the X3, and check out the lighting. With the flush door handles to help with that aerodynamics, 14-way power seat adjustment for the driver, 12-way power seat adjustment for the passenger. These are sports seats with manual cushion extensions, memory for the driver. The bolstering is going to be a little bit more contoured to you, but what I like is this is actually longer. So someone at 6'3", you're not gonna need to use this because it'll literally put your knees in the air. Let's fire it up. The X3 on its 4th generation, I like what we're getting. It's more sport derived, a flat dashboard on the top, but it does bulge out, so you're gonna lose a little bit of leg room here for the passenger side. There isn't any pass-through or any sleeves, but they have opened up the pocket here for the wireless charging pad, 2 USB ports, and BMW's digital key. Cup holders with the X3 badging. Ambient lighting, you have a total of 7 different colors. BMW's curved 1-panel, 2-screen layout. It's a 14.9-inch here with the new iDrive 9.0, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, wireless, Sirius XM, AM, FM, streaming Bluetooth audio. And because we have the premium package, that's also going to include this 360-degree reverse camera with park assist, full trajectory for the front and the rear. The backup assist, it will back up for you. So what that means is you drive forward so many feet or however you want to. So I'm gonna just demonstrate a little bit. We're gonna turn the steering wheel a couple times. Now we're going to put it into reverse, hit start, and now it's gonna say that I don't think I went 85 feet, but either way, we're gonna just go a little bit so you can see what it does, and it will simply turn the steering wheel the same exact way you did it, which makes it easier to get in and out, especially if you are in like a one-way road. Standard dual climate control settings. The touchpads come into play to turn on and off the air vents, and it is more derived for the driver. The iDrive is going to have that crystal look with the rocker and My Drives, which is your driving mode. So whenever you select onto here, you can change it, and they have a lot of different configurations that you can do. It's going to be soft to touch. It opens up into a medium storage pocket with a 12-volt. The steering wheel has been redesigned as well. Multi-function with the paddle shifts, and the gauge cluster can go through an array of different content for the driver. As well as the heads-up display, you can actually change the whole layout here. So you could have an assisted view, a direct view, standard view, or a sport or reduced view with auto-dimming rear view mirror, a large panel. Because of that premium package, we have the interior cameras. Dashboard and door panel configured together nice and sporty with the ambient lighting. I like how it bulges, but it does take some space for the passenger and driver. Headroom isn't bad, as well as leg room. One touch up and down for the windows. It's going to be more sporty, but it's to be expected because it's a BMW with a long storage pocket and a beverage holder carved out, and also a little mint pocket in the front. The back seat, that's the opening that you have to fit 3 more occupants, or 2 if you want the armrest down with the cup holders. Air vents, USB ports, storage tray, storage behind both of the front seats, and you have a connector similar to the X5, but there's no USB port. Leg space isn't bad, as well as headroom. It's actually doable for somebody my height, which the X3 was never really bad with that. Door panel has the same configuration, except no ambient lighting here, and it's going to be more sporty, kind of pushed back, a little bit more seamless, with a smaller storage pocket and a large beverage holder. The floor is not completely flat, which I kind of wish this was a little bit more flat, because you're going to be sharing a significant amount of feet space. Butt, leg, and shoulder space is not that bad. And realistically, if you need more space, you go into the X5. Headroom is actually good. 255 horsepower with 295 pound-feet of torque, 48-volt mild hybrid technology. We're up 7 horsepower and 37 pound-feet of torque. Look what she got. a 0 to 60 at 6 seconds flat. That's what BMW's quoting. So it's a quick car for what it's worth. I do like that it's a little bit longer and it's not too extended, similar to the X1 and X2. Because if they would have done that, then there's no purpose of an X3. You might as well go into the X5. But right off the bat, I dislike on the passenger side, the dashboard just bulges out a lot. Almost as much as the steering wheel, but you can't adjust it on that side. It's literally just a dashboard, giving a lot less knee space and leg space for passengers. The seats are a lot more firm than the prior gen also. So it is something that I would recommend, even if you're watching the video, take it for a test drive, because the ride itself is a little bit more stiff. And that's the same way with the seats. They're longer, so you don't actually have to use the cushion extensions if you're tall. And if you use hand gestures, you can turn on the radio as you saw. iDrive 9.0, which is awesome because you have the latest technology. You sit up great with clearance, and that's gonna take me to some pros and cons. We're gonna start off with the pros. I do like that we got the increase in power, because every time you get a refresh, you shouldn't just get aesthetics, and BMW takes care of you with some performance. The interior has been reamped a lot, not just with the technology, but the actual seating. Now, I would say it's actually more comfortable in the back seat than the driver and passenger seat. But again, these are sports seats, so you're expecting to have a firm bolstering. Comparing this to the prior gen, I would say it's night and day difference in the drive too, because you feel a lot more imperfections in the road. I like that the screen layout is more downward, so it fits more flush into the dash even though it pops out. Because usually when you get these larger screens, depending on the way they do the configuration, it can really change the whole dynamics of the interior. Wind noise filters in a little bit more so than I would like for the pricing that it's at. Audi is going to be a little bit more quiet. Mercedes actually will take the win on that. But enough talking about pros and cons. We got to see performance. Here we go. Near 50-50 weight distribution, which is crazy. Just hugs the road, which is the second reason why this is the sweet spot. Keeping it composed. It doesn't feel heavy when you mash the gas. It's a lot better drive than the prior, which is the last reason why this is the sweet spot. They did an excellent job with this refresh. I mean, not only aesthetics, but you're getting a lot more performance to back it. You're getting a lot more style in the interior, even though it's just a little bit over an inch extra in length. It's really all this vehicle needed to give more space. I mean, look at the exit, look at this. A vehicle that you can have fun daily, and it's still somewhat practical with standard all-wheel drive. I mean, let me know in the comments what you think. And if you're new to the channel, consider subscribing. Check out the next video, merchandise, website, and Instagram. Leave a comment and a like. And I'd like to thank BMW of Wesley Chapel for giving us this 2025 BMW X3 XDrive 30 for our car review.